In the future, Xbox will take full advantage of its new reputation as being too generous, allowing other games to be available on other platforms. Many in the media discuss this topic with high levels of pomposity, as though Xbox sharing their games is some capitulation as the result of losing some sort of console war. But I believe soon Xbox will reveal the console war as a war that was simply a years-long battle. I also believe that many in the industry can see this for themselves, which is why they can't seem to get Xbox out of their heads. They pretend that they're simply worried about Xbox, when the truth is, they're worried that Xbox is about to make the idea of exclusive deals a moronic and senseless endeavor, because the PlayStation exclusives that impacted Xbox the most were third-party deals, not their first-party games. With all of this senseless talk about PlayStation blocking Xbox from accessing their games, people seem to have forgotten that most of the games that PlayStation blocked from the Xbox were third-party games. So in the grand scheme of things, blocking a few PlayStation games from Xbox players would mean practically nothing. Now people are back to attacking Game Pass again. It's hard not to notice how these attacks seem coincidentally coordinated, like a group of people in the industry all woke up with the exact same thoughts on the exact same subject on the exact same day. Game Pass doesn't guarantee success for a developer no more than making an exclusive deal with a company that has an insane install base does. Now, we know that developers that went into exclusive deals with PlayStation weren't exactly happy with the results, prompting many to reject them, especially with today's market where the PC install base has become very prevalent. Game Pass is a way for developers to get a money bag but still be able to sell their games everywhere else. So if the developer's game doesn't do well everywhere else, Game Pass had nothing to do with it. There are numerous successful YouTube channels that specialize in covering great games that faded into obscurity soon after they launched. Some of these games are lucky enough to go on to be classified as cult classics. The really lucky ones are able to build on that status by releasing a later iteration of the game that becomes a mainstream hit. For example, Stalker 2, which by the way is still in Game Pass. Spec Ops: The Line that was released in 2012 was a banger with an unbelievably great story, but most gamers never played it. It's criminal that this game did not blow up more than it did. It is the ultimate cult classic. Days Gone, another great game that immediately went into the cult classic category. Gamers that played it loved it, but that doesn't change the fact that the sales numbers were abysmal. People simply did not buy the game. The game's creative director and writer bluntly told PlayStation fans that if they wanted a sequel, they should have purchased the first game. He even went on to blame PlayStation Plus as a part of the problem, but no one in the mainstream media ever talks about that.
I have an opinion on something that your audience might find of interest.
Okay.
And it might piss some of them off. If you love a game, buy it at fucking full price. I can't tell you how many times I've seen gamers say, yeah, I got that on sale.
But how do you know you love a game until you've played it?
I'm just saying you don't, but don't complain if a game doesn't get a sequel if it wasn't supported at launch.
But the big difference between PlayStation Plus and Game Pass is simply this. Game Pass pays money to the developers simply for placing their games on the service. Also, developers are still free to sell their games on all other platforms, including the Xbox. So it wasn't just PlayStation Plus that killed Days Gone. It was also the fact that the game was exclusively sold only on the PlayStation console. Isn't it funny how PlayStation is never directly blamed for the failures of these games? But on the flip side of this business model is Xbox's business model. They not only place their games on the PlayStation, they do so with great success because Xbox games stay at the top of PlayStation's bestsellers list. And people love to say that they're giving PlayStation their games. Xbox may be a great company, but they're not giving their games to anyone. You have to purchase them. Returnal sold just under 1 million copies when it was locked to the PlayStation. Then it was released to the PC with practically no marketing and only sold 162,000 units when it was released. But no one was talking about the adverse effects of PlayStation's exclusivity business model back then. A Game Pass deal would have allowed the developer to take a money bag from Xbox and still release it on all other platforms. Had the game been an Xbox exclusive deal, everyone in the mainstream media simply couldn't say enough about how Xbox killed the game. At the moment, everyone makes fun of Xbox for sharing its games on all other platforms. However, when Xbox inevitably is set to make another major purchase, those same people will be back to claiming that Xbox is attempting to monopolize the industry.